Hi, my name is Emma Chambers, and today I will be showing you step-by-step how to complete Project 1 in P200 Microcomputer Applications of Kinesiology. During Project 1, we used a goniometer to collect our data. A goniometer is an instrument that measures joint angles while doing certain activities. The goniometer was placed on the side of the subject's knee. To record the data, the goniometer was connected by Bluetooth to an app called SparkView. For this project, we worked in groups, and each group member recorded data walking forward normally, walking backwards normally, walking backwards with eyes closed, and walking backwards after spinning around to induce dizziness. Each type of walking consisted of about 20 steps. This equaled to 4 trials. After all the data was collected from each subject, we uploaded the information from SparkView to our Box account. Now that our data is in our Box account, we must move it to Excel. We must hit download and then open up the file. Because there are 4 different trials, we must make 4 different tabs for each trial. The first will be labeled forward because of forward walking. The second will be backward because of backward walking. The third will be backward fast. And the fourth will be backward while dizzy. Now we must move the data into their own tabs. We will do this by cutting and pasting the data into each tab. Now we must delete the data that we don't want. The only 2 pieces of data that we want are the angle 1 and angular velocity. The others can be deleted as shown. You must do this for every trial. Now you have the necessary data. You want to convert your angle to degrees. You do this by multiplying by 57.3. This can be done by doing an equal sign, selecting the cell, and multiplying it by 57.3. We want to do this to all the numbers, so in order to do this, we must autofill by dragging down and making sure that all cells are multiplied by 57.3. Now you want to do the same thing for knee velocity. You want to convert it into degrees. You will do the same thing you did for knee angle, and you will multiply the cell by 57.3. And then make sure that you fill all the cells so that every number is multiplied by 57.3 and in degrees. Now that we have all our data, we want to make some graphs to represent them. First graph we're going to make is going to be a line graph showing the angle 1 in radians. You do this by selecting the graph function on Excel. The second graph we want to make is another line graph, however this one is comparing knee angle and knee velocity. For the second graph, we want to make sure that we change a few items on it. We want to give it a title describing the condition. As we are working on forward with this one, it'll be named forward. We then want to add a vertical and horizontal axis. The y-axis will be known as knee velocity, as that's what it is, and the x-axis will be known as knee angle. The video shows you how to do these certain things. Once you have done that, we want to make sure that we show a trend of the data. This is a different feature, and we must go to make sure that it shows the moving average so that we see how the data moves. We also want to make sure that we remove the grid lines. Now we want to find the max and min of our data. We do this by creating a function equals and then typing max and then selecting the data we want to find the maximum number as. Then we hit enter and the number is given. Then we do the same thing again when we want to find the minimum, except type in min and select the data you want to find the minimum of. Now we want to find the joint range of motion. This will be done by subtracting the maximum joint angle minus the minimum. You will do this by selecting the cell and then subtracting from the other cell. Make sure you do all of these processes for each condition. Now you will do an analysis of all of your group's data. You must type in the data given for each of your group members. However, there is an easier way to put in your own data. You simply select the cell you want the data into, type equals, and then go to the number you need on the other cell. For this one, we are finding the maximum for knee flexion. For the second group analysis, we are going to find the range of motion. So you must go to each condition and select the range of motion. Once again, your group data should be given to you from your group members, and you must just type that in. Now we have all the data for the group. We want to create a graph to represent this. For knee flexion, we want to create a bar graph. You do this by selecting all the data, going to insert, and then selecting bar graph. We also want to do the same for knee range of motion. Then, like before, we want to give the chart labels. The x-axis will be known as the condition. And the y-axis will be known as peak knee flexion. We then want to do the same for knee range of motion. Giving it titles. On the vertical, it's going to be range of motion. And on the X, it will be condition again, as the X-axis shows the different conditions that each group member did: forward, backwards, backwards fast, and backwards while dizzy. Now you have completed the Excel portion of your project, you will now have to do a reflection. It is important when doing the reflection that you copy and paste your graphs as a picture. This is shown how to do this in the picture. Make sure you do this process for every single graph and then paste them into your reflection as the picture. We're doing this because sometimes when you stretch a graph or shrink it to change the size, the numbers also change. This way, it's a picture and the numbers will not change. Here's an example of what the write-up for Project 1 should look like. Thank you for watching and good luck on Project 1.